You're lying in bed 3 days after a conversation you had at lunch. It lasted 5 minutes. The other person has probably forgotten it entirely, and there you are at whatever time it is, replaying it, trying out different answers, finding the perfect thing you should have said. If this is you, this isn't anxiety. This isn't overthinking. Your brain is doing something very specific, and once you understand what, the replay makes complete sense. Let's be honest. Some conversations disappear the moment they end. Others stick like a splinter. And for some people, once the replay starts, it runs. In the shower, driving, trying to sleep, until something finally replaces it or it fades on its own. Most people who do this wish they could switch it off. They can't. There's a reason, and it's not what most people think. Your brain isn't malfunctioning. It's doing exactly what it was built to do. Psychologists call it rumination, but the more interesting question is why certain conversations trigger it. The first piece is something called the Zeigarnik effect. Your brain treats unfinished things differently than finished ones. Completed tasks get filed and forgotten. Unresolved ones stay open, like browser tabs you haven't closed. A conversation that felt incomplete or off, your brain doesn't file it. It keeps it running. The second piece is older. The brain evolved to replay social interactions for survival. Getting your position in a group wrong, saying the wrong thing to the wrong person, those were genuinely dangerous mistakes once. So the brain kept reviewing, kept looking for what it missed. It still does, even when the stakes are a 5-minute conversation at lunch. But here's what explains why some conversations haunt you for days while others vanish the moment they're over. It's not the length. It's not how important the person is. It's whether something felt unresolved. Specifically, whether you felt misunderstood, whether you sensed a shift in how someone saw you, or whether you said something and immediately knew it wasn't quite right. The brain flags those exchanges as unfinished business. And the replay is an attempt to edit, to find the better answer, to rerun it until the version in your head goes the way it should have gone. The problem is, there's no version in your head that actually closes the file, because the conversation already happened. Quick check. Is there a conversation from months or even years ago you still replay? Not a fight, just something that's stuck. Drop it below, and stay with me, because what this actually says about you changes everything. Picture this. Something was said at lunch 3 days ago, 5 minutes. The other person has moved on completely, and at 2 a.m., you find it. The perfect response. Exactly what you should have said, and it means nothing. The conversation is over, the file is still open, and the brain keeps running it anyway. But here's what the replay actually tells you about who you are. People who replay conversations aren't weak. They're not neurotic. They care deeply about how they come across, about whether they were understood, about the quality of their connections. The replay is the brain of someone who takes relationships seriously, who wants to get it right, who feels the weight of what they said and how it landed. The shift isn't stopping the replay. It's understanding what it's actually looking for. Not a better answer. Permission to let the exchange be imperfect, to close the tab on something that was never going to be perfect anyway. If this hit somewhere real, subscribe to Mind Simplified. This is exactly what we dig into here. The psychology behind the things you do, but never had the words for. And maybe the next video is something you do and can't explain.